Hello, my name is Tony, and I chose the animal gorilla to design an outside habitat enclosure for. I picked it because it was my favorite out of all of the animals given to choose from, all those primates. My favorite. So I'm focusing on two subspecies. They are eastern and western gorillas. So I'll explain physically for the physical for western gorillas. So they have mostly black hair and some brown, just a little bit, mainly black hair, and they could have silver hair on the back of their bodies when they get older though. So those are called silverbacks. They could be called something to call them. So it's the hairs are on their bodies, and they have large jaw muscles, strong teeth, big nostrils, small eyes and ears, brown eyes, and physically eastern gorillas are very similar. Indeed they are. They may have more black hair on average, and less brown hair, but generally they're very similar to them. And their geography is, for these two subspecies, is, well, in Africa, but they are in Central and West Africa. And so for adult average height and weight, the male's weight for Western, the average is about 300 pounds, and for Eastern is about 400 pounds for male. This is for males. And for females, it's just about half of the male's weight in each of the subspecies. So it's a big difference. The males are dominant for that reason, because they weigh more, they're way bigger, and they would socially be more dominant for this reason. Could be, yes. And for average male's heights, it's around almost 6 feet tall. Average female's heights is around almost 5 feet tall. So this is pretty close to human heights. Pretty close, yeah. And so gorillas are mainly herbivores. So they eat foods like fruits, leaves, and wood. And they get hydration from the plants because the plants have water, so that's good for them. That's just what they mainly eat. And they're quadrupedal mainly for their locomotion, so they move on their knuckles. Yeah, they do mainly, but sometimes they move on 2 feet, such as when carrying food. They climb trees and they go up to around 45 feet high. That's pretty high considering their weight. And for communication, they use calls, facial expressions, physical postures, and tactile through grooming for tactile. And natural group size may be from 5 to 20 as a general range. Predators, there are barely any because they're so big and strong. So nothing to mind for them about predators. They don't need to mind that. That's for sure. And their lifespan in the wild is about 35 to 40 years on average. So my idea of outside habitat enclosure is 15 feet high concrete walls around the enclosure with 4 feet high metal fences on top, which is high enough for safety. High enough, yes. And grass would be through most of the habitat, sturdy trees for climbing and eating from, and many plants all around, which they could also eat from. Rocks around on the ground to look more natural, and ponds for water around there. So the size of the place would be 20,000 to 25,000 square feet, which is ideal. It's big enough for them to move around and be watched. It's not the same as in the wild, but it's big enough to move around. So thank you very much.